Good morning, everyone. Keith Johnson, CPA here with my trusted chief accountant, Osceola. He's actually a pretty good ham with the, as you can see, with cameras. He's been known to attend lectures that I've been doing on Zoom and various meetings, so he's no stranger to a live camera. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about continuing my series on the American Rescue Act. That's the $1.9 trillion bill that was passed by Congress and signed by the president a couple weeks ago. A lot of stuff has come out, a lot of guidance has come out, and we just wanted to kind of unpack it for you slowly. It's going to take way too long for everything to be discussed in one clip. So what we're going to do is talk today about the child tax credit. Now, the child tax credit is it's been around for probably 20 years now. And so what it is, it's aid to parents who are, have children. And it started right in, at about, actually, I think it started $400 if I remember right. No more than $600, but it was back in the aftermath of the 2001 9/11 recession. But Obamacare back around 2010, 2011 raised it from $600 to $2,000. Actually, I think it was like $1,000 in there in the immediate aftermath of the recession, but then it went to $2,000 with Obamacare, and that's been that way for several years. So in the bill, in this new law, that child tax credit is going to go up to $3,600, $3,000, maybe nothing additional. Maybe it's still $2,000. A lot of it's going to depend on how old your children are and how much money you make. Okay, so we're going to start to unpack this for you. Now, the first part of the law was that if you have a child that's 17, they are now eligible. Now, to be fair, this is a prospective credit or prospective change to the tax code. And what that means is that you won't have to worry about reporting this until next year. Okay, I've been talking about prospective and retroactive additions to in the bill, and basically, prospective means that you won't have to deal with it until next year. Retroactive means that they are going back to 2020, which means that if you haven't filed yet, you probably don't want to file for another week or two until the tax returns get updated and all the software gets updated to take into account these new provisions. And if you've already filed and have these new provisions affect you, then you are no longer, you have to amend the return in order to get tax relief, which could take several months. So the child tax credit maximum birthday was increased from 16 to 17, which means that if you are 16, if your child turns 16 during 2021, they're fine. If they turn 17 during 2021, they're fine. If they turn 17 in 2020, you're out of luck. So, just when your child turns 17 is now the cutoff, which I kind of agree with, because if you're, they're minors. At 17, you're still a minor. You're still dependent 99.99999% of the time. So, why did they leave them out? I don't know, but now they're back so 17-year-olds are now included, starting with the 2021 tax year. How much it's being raised, again, depends on how old the children are. So first, if the child is under 6 as of the end of 2021, then your child tax credit goes up to $3,600. Okay. If it's raised, it's raised to $3,000, so it's in the $1,000 additional for children 6 to 17. However, that increased child tax credit is conditional based on your income. And we're talking using the same income thresholds that they're using for the stimulus. So for instance, you have the stimulus package that the checks that are going out, as you probably know from the news, you go up from $150,000 and above for married filing joint. The stimulus check either gets eroded or eliminated. The cutoff for a head of household is $112,500, and for single it's $75,000, and it gets eroded up from there. So it's a very fast erosion for the stimulus checks. For the child tax credit, it's not quite as fast. The erosion rate is $50 for every $1,000 of income. So it's a 5% reduction for your income above that for every $1,000. So a lot of it's going to depend now on how much money you make. So the base $2,000, the $2,000 child tax credit that we've had for the last several years, that remains intact. The cutoff phases for those are $200,000 for single, $400,000 for married filing joint. Okay, so if you make, say, if you're married filing joint, you make $300,000, you're still going to get that $2,000 per child tax credit. So you don't have to worry about losing that. You're just not going to get the additional child tax credit. So, but just know that it's the additional child tax credit. So either the additional $1,000 for children 6 to 17 or $1,600 for children under 6. That's going to be affected by your income. So it's very tricky, and there's a little tax planning here. Now, what you have to remember is there is another provision that's being installed. I don't know how I know the timeline. I don't know how it's going to be done within this timeline, but that was the intent. So basically, and this is another reason why the IRS is totally snowed under now, is because, okay, they're still processing 6.5 million tax returns from 2019. They got to get out the stimulus payments. They are still trying to get back to work from being shut down. Okay, now they're going to be having a flood of amended returns because Congress didn't think about the impact on the IRS, but also here, the IRS is going to be responsible for creating a stream of child tax credit payments. So the way it's going to work is from January through December, or I'm sorry, not January, July through December of 2021, they're going to send out, and I'm not sure if it's the whole tax credit or just the additional tax credit, in a form of monthly payments. So basically, you're going to get 6 months, if you have the child tax credit, you're going to get 6 months of additional income. You'll get a check every month for 6 months. Now, that's all fine and good, except if your income spikes during the year, then you will have to pay it back because you're going to have to report the child tax credit that you received on next year's return, the 2021 return due next year. And if based on your income you weren't entitled to it, you'll have to pay it back. So again, there's going to be tax planning involved. And, because you don't want to be caught paying it back. The payback feature is similar to that of the premium tax credit, which is the subsidy that's given by the government to individuals who purchase their health insurance on the marketplace. So it's going to be similar reconciliation to that. Again, the logistics are still going to come out. I'm having a hard time with it. I just don't see how it's going to be done very well with everything the IRS already has on its plate. Another thing I'm not happy about is that they're trying to give additional monthly payments. I think it's the start. It's a test run for universal basic income, to be quite honest. Now, we don't have time to discuss it. I would say just do the research on universal basic income. I'm against it. So, but do your own research and come up with that opinion, your own opinion. So anyway, so a lot to talk about today with child tax credit. See, we're talking for about 11 minutes now. So tomorrow I'm probably going to do the child dependent care credit, which is also been changed because of the Child American Rescue Act. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. And until then, be safe and have a great day. Take care, everyone.